Beloved child, hear me now with the attention of your whole heart. The urgency that stirs this message is not meant to frighten you, but to nudge you awake, soft as dawn yet firm as a clarion call. There is a voice from the realm of light, a beloved who watches over you and leans forward through the distance to ask one thing. Open this, and open it now. In the language of your spirit, there is a number spoken: 3 minutes. Not merely a countdown of seconds, but a spiritual invitation to focus, to respond, to align. Breathe, and let the breath itself be your first answer. When you feel the prick of alarm at words like warning and urgency, slow your breath and remember that warning is a gift. Those you love beyond the veil see from a perspective that includes eternity. They perceive trajectories your heart cannot always apprehend. Their message carries love braided with truth. There are choices available to you that will change the pattern of days to come, and there are small, immediate acts that will move you toward healing rather than regret. Receive this as a compassionate intervention. Allow the message to land softly and then to lead you into brave action. Do not mistake the call for panic. Panic scatters, discernment gathers. The 3 minutes spoken to your heart are enough to steady the racing mind, to whisper a prayer, to make one small decisive movement. In those moments, center yourself, find a steady seat, set your feet on the ground, close your eyes if it helps, and breathe in for 4 counts and out for 4 counts until the tremor fades. This is not avoidance, it is preparation. When the heart is steady, the spirit hears clearly. Your beloved in the light is urging you to notice patterns that have been running beneath the surface of your life. Patterns of avoidance, of postponement, of compromise that once seemed harmless now gather weight. They become the sediment that clouds your vision. Identify one area where you have deferred truth, a conversation unsaid, a letter unmailed, a medical appointment delayed, a reconciliation postponed. These small postponements accumulate into the soil of regret. The departed one who loves you sees this and leans in to ask, with tenderness and urgency both, that you stop the pattern now. Act on the smallest step you can take in the next hour. There is a plea to speak truth in relationships that have dulled into routine. Speak from a place of gentle honesty. Say what you feel, say what you need, and say what you hope for. Do not assume mind reading between hearts. Those who watch you from the realm of light recall how swiftly a single honest sentence can unlatch closed doors. Even if the sentence trembles, it is a seed of restoration. Courage does not demand perfection. It simply asks for sincerity. You are being warned about the slow seep of bitterness. Bitterness creeps in like a shadow at dusk and then hardens if left unattended. It corrodes the tender places of your heart and makes walls where doors should be. If you carry an old hurt, bring it to light. Speak it aloud to a safe person, to a counselor, or to the quiet sky in prayer. Name it, not to re-traumatize yourself, but to reposition the pain so healing can do its work. The one who loved you in life aches for your freedom from this weight and offers their witness to your sorrow so that it may be transformed. There may be a subtle but persistent voice telling you to slow down your life's pace. The culture praises speed, heaven praises presence. Where you have learned to race, practice a pause. Set a single pocket of time today that is intentionally unproductive by the world's standards. A 10-minute walk, a brief journal entry, a moment of silence. These tiny acts are not indulgences, they are acts of reorientation. They allow your soul to remember its rhythm and to hear the whispers of guidance that get drowned out by constant motion. The warning also touches your stewardship of time, of money, of energy. The beloved in the light may bring to mind a small, practical omission, a bill left unattended, a conversation about money postponed, an extra hour frittered away on distractions. These are not judgments, they are pointers. Attend gently to the mundane. Good stewardship is a spiritual posture that invites peace and provision. Take one practical step today. Schedule a short conversation about finances with a trusted friend or advisor. Set aside a small amount for saving, or simply make a list of your top 3 priorities for the week and protect time for them. Your health is not incidental to your purpose. Those who love you beyond the veil remember the body as the vessel through which you experience and act. If you have been dismissing rest, ignoring signals your body sends, or assuming your energy is inexhaustible, hear this as a kind warning. Honor your vessel. Sleep is not luxury, it is sacred repair. Hydration, movement, and modest nourishment are not trivial. They are commitments to your ability to love, to serve, and to be present. Make at least one nourishing choice today that your future self will bless. Beware of the seductive whisper of comparison. The souls who watch you know the ways the world shows curated highlights and calls them worth. Your worth is not measured by that false mirror. The one who loved you reminds you of your intrinsic value, rooted in the fact of your being, not in the accumulation of public success. When comparison rises, declare the truth of your identity aloud. Rehearse gratitude for 3 specific things you have been given that nourish your life. Gratitude is the antidote to envy. If addictions or secret compromises trouble your nights, consider this message a caring nudge toward help. Hidden behaviors do not remain private in their consequences. They ripple into the lives of those you love and into the quiet places of your own soul. There is bravery in asking for help. There is courage in admitting you cannot carry everything alone. Reach out to a helpline, a trusted friend, or a professional practitioner. The realm of light rejoices when the living take steps toward restoration. A loving admonition arrives concerning your speech. Words create reality. When you speak harshness in passing, when you recount an old slight, when you gossip with ease, you shape the atmosphere around you. Choose to speak that which heals. Remember that a single forgiving sentence released at the right moment can redirect a relationship's arc. If you feel anger poised to spill, take a breath and give yourself a measure of time before answering. Let restraint be a kind of strength that protects both you and those you love. There is counsel regarding an opportunity you might be tempted to refuse out of fear. The one who loved you in life sees the broader weave of possibility and urges you not to allow timidity to shorten your reach. If a new door knocks, be it a creative project, a move, a shift in vocation, greet it with careful curiosity. Prepare practically, yes, but do not let fear keep you stranded on the safe shore when a journey could enlarge your heart. Take the smallest concrete step. Send an email, draft a plan, make a phone call. Let momentum be born of small decisions. This message also cautions against isolating grief inside as if it were an offering to some stoic ideal. You are permitted to be tender. You are permitted to grieve openly and to seek companionship that will hold your sorrow without judgment. The presence of community is not optional for the soul, it is a lifeline. Invite someone you trust to be with you in simple ways: coffee, a walk, a shared silence. Let the living witness the textures of your heart. Attention is directed to the quiet ways distraction steals from your intention. Devices and endless scrolling are not neutral. They shape attention and erode capacity for deep presence. Set clear boundaries. Designate a time to be device free, especially during meals or in conversation with loved ones. Guard those minutes as sacred. The one who missed you in life remembers the times you were physically near but mentally elsewhere. They plead with you to give undivided presence now. You are urged to examine loyalties that may unintentionally be destructive. Sometimes devotion to a role or expectation supersedes devotion to the self in ways that become costly. Ask whether certain obligations honor the person you are called to be or merely perpetuate exhaustion. Seek wise counsel and be willing to make adjustments that reflect sustainable love for yourself and for others. A tender invitation surfaces to revive a dormant creative impulse. The beloved watcher delights in your uniqueness and implores you to express it, whether through music, painting, writing, cooking, or conversation. Your creative offerings matter. Begin small: a paragraph, a sketch, a 5-minute melody hummed into being. The world needs your particular imprint. Delay no longer under the pretext of perfectionism. There is also a clear admonition about the company you keep. Energy is contagious. Surround yourself with those who enlarge you, who speak truth with kindness, and who celebrate your small wins. If certain relationships drain rather than sustain, create distance with grace. This is not punishment, but protection on behalf of your flourishing. A prophetic whisper invites you to examine your daily rhythms. Are they aligned with your deepest values? If not, make one small change that brings practice into alignment. Rise 10 minutes earlier for silence. Take a short walk midday to reset, or tuck a 5-minute gratitude practice into your evening. These microdiscipline choices shape long-term character and create receptivity for guidance. Do not underestimate the power of confession and reconciliation. Unspoken breaches of trust grow roots in the dark and distort the fruit of relationship. If you carry guilt or shame about something you can amend, reach out. Speak the humble words. Even when the outcome is uncertain, the act of making amends clears space in your soul and opens doors for grace. The voice from the realm of light may press upon you to release a particular possession or to simplify a portion of your life. Material clutter often maps to inner clutter. Consider giving away something that has outlived its purpose or simplifying a routine that no longer serves. Generosity is a spiritual exercise that declutters and blesses simultaneously. If you have been waiting for permission to rest, receive it now. Rest is not sloth, it is a sacred rhythm. The one who loved you in life leans in to say, your worth is not measured by output. Mark a small Sabbath moment. Abandon work for 1 hour and lean into the restorative practice of presence, prayer, or gentle delight. Be attentive to dreams and sudden impressions. The realm of the unseen communicates often through quiet impressions, repetitive nudges, or vivid dreams that feel saturated with meaning. When a thought repeats with insistence, do not dismiss it as mere coincidence. Test it gently. Journal, pray, seek counsel, and watch how doors move in response. There is an urgent plea to forgive yourself for past permissions that compromised your integrity. Radical self-forgiveness is not license to repeat. It is liberation to change. Make a practical repair where possible. If repair is not possible, reorient your decisions now to prevent repetition. The watcher in the light celebrates your courage to choose differently. A warning arrives against the tyranny of endless comparison to others' public lives. The curated highlight reel is not the full story. Reclaim your narrative by celebrating the small daily victories that make up a life well lived. The conversation that mended a heart, the quiet act of care given, the steady progress made unseen. You are called to steward your language toward life. If you notice yourself slipping into habitual negativity, complaints that become default, flip the habit by naming 3 small gratitudes before noon. Habits built in light replace those grown in shadow. There may be a practical nudge to check a relationship boundary. Saying no is an act of care. Refuse the cultural pressure to please at the cost of your center. Boundaries are not walls, but gates that protect your ability to give freely without depletion. If you are tempted to make a hasty decision under the pressure of fear, pause. Fear shrinks vision and pushes toward shortcuts that later require repentance. Choose to wait for a sign of alignment, peace in your heart, counsel from someone wise, and a practical next step that can be tested in small measure. The watcher beyond the veil also celebrates your small wins and asks you to mark them. Rejoice in incremental progress. Tell a friend of one thing that moved forward today. Naming wins trains the soul to notice growth and creates momentum for larger change. There is an appeal to act on a long-suppressed reconciliation. If there is a person you have avoided because the cost of conversation felt high, make the first humble move toward contact. The person in the unseen who loved you deeply remembers the sweetness of shared life and hopes you will retrieve what can be recovered. You are urged to cultivate gentleness toward yourself. Change is slow and granular. Condemnation only stalls it. Speak to yourself with the tenderness of one who carries a small child through the night. Encourage, correct, and then encourage again. A careful counsel recommends that you do not make life-altering commitments when exhausted. Decisions made in scarcity rarely yield wise outcomes. Rest first where you can, then decide with clearer vision. If there is entrepreneurial impulse in your chest, test it incrementally. Launch a small pilot, gather honest feedback, and iterate. The watcher in the light delights in the creative courage that risks small in order to learn large. Finally, the most tender remainder: you are loved beyond measure. All warnings, all counsel, all urgings arise because love watches and longs. The 3 minutes are a summons to wake, to act, and to receive healing. Breathe now. Take one small practical step toward what matters, and know that this action pleases the heart of the one who watches in glorious love. They stand with you in longing, and their care reaches you across every strange distance. Take this moment. In the next 3 minutes, do one small thing. Send a short message to someone you love, schedule a necessary appointment, or offer forgiveness in prayer. These tiny acts are the hinge upon which new days turn. Rise, dear one, and move with the quiet courage that honors both your finite life and the eternal love that watches over you. Beloved soul, as we come to the final part of this message, feel the warmth of heaven press close around you. The urgency spoken earlier was not to create fear, but to awaken you into clarity, to stir you into remembering how brief and precious your life truly is. Those who love you beyond the veil have been leaning close, and Archangel Michael wraps this truth in light so that you may receive it without trembling. You are not alone in this hour, nor in the next. The ones you have loved and lost are never lost in spirit. They travel with you. They intercede for you. They whisper in ways subtle yet unmistakable. Hear them now. They urge you to rise, to forgive, to love without delay. Every warning given is meant to guard you, not to bind you. Heaven sees how easily distraction can steal entire seasons, how resentment can calcify into years of silence, how fear can shrink a destiny meant to be expansive. That is why the call comes urgently. 3 minutes, 3 breaths, 3 choices that shift everything. The beloved soul who now dwells in eternal light wants you to know they rejoice when you choose the higher way, when you answer anger with calm, when you turn from bitterness toward mercy, when you step forward in courage instead of hesitation. Each small yes you give to light is celebrated in the unseen realm. In this final movement of the message, know this: you are surrounded by angelic protection. Archangel Michael stands guard over you even when you forget to call upon him. His sword of truth cuts through the fog of confusion. His shield of light intercepts the darts of despair. When you whisper even a faltering prayer, that prayer is received like a beacon, and aid is dispatched. Do not believe the lie that you must carry everything alone. Help is near, closer than breath, swifter than thought. Ask, and heaven responds. Now take courage and face the places you have avoided. Call the person you have delayed calling. Begin the project you have put off. Speak the words of kindness you thought you would say tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised but today is full of grace. The one you love in heaven is urging you with tender persistence. Live fully, love deeply. Do not waste the moments that are given. Regret is heavy, but it is avoidable when you choose presence now. Release guilt, release shame, release the chains of old mistakes. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by your resilience, your return to love, your willingness to begin again. The final word heaven leaves with you is not condemnation, but hope. You are capable of change, of healing, of joy. You are worthy of peace. You are strong enough to carry light into dark places and gentle enough to comfort those who weep. So, in this concluding breath of the message, pause and make one holy promise to yourself that you will not close your eyes tonight without one act of love completed today. Let it be small if it must be small, but let it be real. A word of encouragement, a note of gratitude, an apology spoken, a prayer lifted, a gesture of generosity. These are the treasures that endure, the currency of eternity. The beloved in heaven smiles upon you. Archangel Michael watches over you. The Father of all light blesses you. Go forward with courage. Your time is precious. Your path is protected. Your soul is infinite. The warning has been given. The invitation made clear. Choose life. Choose love. Choose now.